Hey y'all, welcome to Allie's Space to Craft. I'm doing another of my daughter's senior album pages. I had finished that Thankful one. I'm going to bring that back at the end and compare it, show it with this page, which will be side by side with it because this was on the same day. My daughter went to her boyfriend's house and they had a fire in the backyard. And so I'm going to document that. I'm using the same paper pack, which I think is called Fall Fever. But I didn't want it to look like a 2-page layout. So I pulled this wood grain paper and this floral. And then I did a little bit of pre-work. I stamped that blessed. Blessed to have you in my life, something like that, which I thought was cute. And I also, you can see it up there in the top corner, I stamped a deer. I had used a couple of stamps on the previous page from a Close to My Heart stamp set, and so I wanted to use that same stamp set but with a deer on this page. So I did trim a little bit off this wood grain paper just to save it because I'm frugal that way, I guess it is. So I'm just going to Frankenstein this page together. And the floral piece is a 4-inch strip. And then I pulled this sticker. I really wanted to use a scallop sticker. There is a little bit of a scallop on the other page as well. So I pulled this sticker off. It is not quite long enough, but I will find a solution for that one end. I pushed it to one side, so I only have one side that I need to deal with. And then I'm just going to use several papers to mat this photo in. I'm going to use this burgundy, which was used on the other page. And then I really wanted to bring this gray in because he's wearing a gray shirt. And that's one of the reasons I picked this paper pack. So I wanted to pull in that gray, and there's some gray in the florals as well. So I think I just do the double mat for this. And then I pulled a couple of cut aparts. So these are, I think, probably 2 by 2. And then this one's cute that says, "Let's get cozy," because they were snuggling up by the fire. So I'm putting all of those on this scalloped shelf, if you will. I'm dealing with that as sort of a shelf and doing this 1/3, 2/3 layout. There's also a couple of pumpkins that I used on the other page as well. So I'm going to fussy cut a couple of those out and to add those to the layout. And that's going to cover up that little scallop sticker end that doesn't quite go to the end of the page. And I kind of liked this stair-stepped look. So pretty happy with that as the basic layout. There's the title. And I'm going to go off and cut that. So my die cutting machine is just in another part of the room. So I just did it as a simple rectangle. It's a stitched rectangle, but it looks pretty good. And I think that I'm going to end up matting that title as well. So I'm just adding a little shading around the edges using a brush and the walnut stain, just to add a little depth and dimension to the deer, but he doesn't look great on that wood grain. Obviously, he's not going to show up very well. I also had stamped a little log, like a little log stool. So I like that deer sort of dropping down below, just so he shows up better. Had I switched it and put the wood grain at the bottom and the bigger floral, I think it would have been a busier page, but then I would have put the deer up at the top, probably standing on one of those little boxes. But I'm okay with it, the way it came out. So I'm going to actually use the same plaid that I used on the previous page on both of these rectangles. Well, one's a square, one's a rectangle. One is to give the one on the right hand side a little more substance, and then to help this and just tie in that other page again. So for some reason this looked a little bit crooked, excuse the top of my head, and it was just a fraction off. So I'm just using my T-square ruler. If you are a new scrapbooker, get yourself a T-square ruler, especially if you like things to be straight. It's very handy. I didn't have one. I have a pretty straight eye, but it's so much easier to make sure that things are straight now that I have that. So I'm going to add some more stickers to this. So this is going to change. It's not going to be quite this simple when I'm done with it. Now, when I'm lining these things up, I'm not lining them up exactly. I'm trying to make sure that the ends are slightly at different levels, just to keep it interesting rather than making a pure straight line. They're just off by a little bit though. So there's some things to be added to all of this. And I am making that a little bit of a block, but as I said, I have not lined everything up exactly. So now I'm tackling some of the stickers. I like that little wreath. It brings in another floral rather than just having the floral at the bottom. I had thought about fussy cutting some of those florals, but they aren't easy to fussy cut because they do overlap. So I'm just going to pull a few florals from the sticker. And there's a bench on that sticker sheet, and they are sitting on a bench that looks just like it. Excuse me. So I really wanted to include that. So just pulling some stickers, some pumpkins, because one of those little blocks says "Hello, Pumpkin." So just playing along with it, and I did a pretty good job of I didn't use up this sticker sheet, but I used quite a few stickers between these two pages. Of course, I have lots more paper in the paper pack, so there'll be more pages to come in the future. So I'm just, this is a little box with the floral on it. I just wanted to add a little something near that, to that deer. And in the stamp, there's some little florals on its little butt. And so you could color those in if I had done them on lighter colored paper. So I just got a floral and stuck it on there. So I like this layout concept, and you can do it either, you can flip it and do it top and bottom, and you can hang things down off of the shelf or set things on top of the shelf like I did in this layout. There's also a little coffee cup that I thought was appropriate. And just looking for any more little sprinkles. Just a reminder to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't currently subscribed. I'm posting 5 or 6 days a week. All right, and I think that I'm going to, trim that edge off. And then I'm going to add some enamel dots, and then I want to do some sprinkles. And what I end up doing is some Nuvo drops. I do some Nuvo drops, and then I also water down the Nuvo drops and use it to sprinkle. And I mix a copper and a gold together. It looks a little bit pink when it's wet on here, but it dries as a gold. And until I can get a gold spritz, this is what I'm going to use. I do like it, and it doesn't rub off. I think the Distressed Oxide will rub off. So here you can see I'm going to do a little squirt of the copper and the gold. I do end up mixing these together. And I'm just doing that on my glass mat. I really should have done this at the end because I do end up smushing one of them. So add a little water, and then I get my, so I was thinking about doing 2 different sprinkles with 2 different colors, but I decided just to mix them up. And this is when I smush one of those Nuvo drops. It's fixable. I definitely wanted to cover my photo, but just trying to be careful not to smush any more of those Nuvo drops, which is why I should have done it at the end. So just, that wipes up really easy off my glass mat. Fix that one drop that I messed up, and we'll take a close-up, and then I'm going to come back and show you both pages side by side. So you can see that looks a little white or creamy. It does dry gold. So it's something that I experimented with, and I really like it to use as my sprinkles. And here's both pages side by side, same paper pack, but I wanted them to have a slightly different feel, but still coordinate. Thanks a lot, you guys.